everyone, it's Sharana from Pay or Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Netflix film The Silence, which is directed by John R. Leonetti, who's responsible for directing films such as Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Annabelle, and so this film is actually based on the published 2015 novel written by Tim Levin, The Silence. Shocker. Yes, same title. So, this film stars Kiernan Shipka, Miranda Otto, Stanley Tucci, and John Corbett, and it centers around this family, and basically they fighting to survive, y'all, okay? There's these creepy little things flying in the air called vests, okay? They have these little teeth, and then basically, if they hear you, they will kill you. You're dead. Just straight like that. They can't see you, but they have really good hearing, so if you make a misstep, if you talk a little bit too loud, they're gonna get you. And so this film really centers around this family and basically their journey from when they first find out what is happening, and then when they finally come in contact with these creatures and realize that they have to survive. They have to get away from these creatures, or it's just all hope is lost. So first I'm going to go into what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, and then kind of some things we need to talk about, comparisons as people will have towards A Quiet Place, and also too about casting those with disabilities in roles like this. Okay, I have to talk about it. I just have to. So what I liked about the film, one of the things that I actually really appreciated that I can see that some people may have issue with is very early on in the film we learn what the Vesp are. We learn basically how they hunt, and I was okay with that. You know, a lot of people had issues with last year's Netflix film Bird Box because we never really knew what these creatures were, what they were doing, why they were doing it, and I was just like, you know what, now that I know what these creepy little creatures are, I can actually focus my time on the family and just pay attention to what is happening with them, because I think in films like this, you're waiting for this twist to happen. You're waiting for them to be like, oh, well, this is why this was happening, or this is where they came from. But here they were like, nope, 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 nope. We want you to focus on this family, so we're going to tell you early on, and I was totally okay with this. I was really just like, okay, that's fine, I'm totally okay. Also too, in films like this, I always find children or little distractions to be problematic because that means that dumb decisions have to happen. And in this film, I really didn't feel that. I wasn't side-eyeing the family. There were moments when I was just like, here we go. I know that this is finna happen. But no, they took care of it. They were very practical. Basically, they were just like, hey, we have to do what we have to do in order to survive. And I actually appreciated that. I was like, you know what? I can really root for you guys now because you guys understand, you feel me. I was like, I could be a part of this family now. I think that towards kind of the third part of the film, there is another kind of arc that is introduced, which I actually enjoyed, but it could be a pro and a con, because I felt as though as we kind of explore humanity in situations like this, whereas when we see the worst in people come out, and so as this kind of new plot line is thrown into the course of the film, while I enjoyed it and it provided some type of suspense and also to drama, I still felt as though that it didn't necessarily fit from what we were watching for the first two parts of the film. It almost made me feel like, this makes me feel like I'm watching a Walking Dead like episode right now, which isn't bad because I ain't got no problems with Walking Dead. But yeah, when you see it, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't want to give any spoilers away, okay? Okay, so as far as two things that I didn't like about the film, I did take a huge issue with the ending of the film. As we kind of go through this suspenseful scene, and then afterwards, it's just like, we done? Like, that was it? That was the ending? Really? Like, what happened? Did I miss something? Let me rewind it real quick. I think that the ending was very abrupt. Now, for those of you who have read the book The Silence, you know that the ending of that film was abrupt as well. But I was just like, could we have taken some liberties to try to like jazz this up a little bit? So I do think that some people like myself will take issue with how this film ends. Now, also too, we have to talk about these comparisons with A Quiet Place. So I know when you heard what this film was about, you were like, Sharonda, like this sounds exactly like A Quiet Place. Like, why are they ripping off A Quiet Place? And so I felt the same way as well. I was just like, this definitely has similarities. However, after actually doing a little bit of research, this novel was published in 2015 before A Quiet Place was even thought of. And then it made me sad because I know people are going to start this debate of saying, why are they trying to rip off A Quiet Place? And that's just ain't it. This concept was already thought of prior to the film's release, so I just really hate that people are even going to start to say things like this. But I just want to give you some facts and let you know, it wasn't a ripoff. The book was written well before A Quiet Place came out, the same as Bird Box as well. Also, too, I do want to talk about Kiernan Shipka's character, Allie, who is a young woman who, she wasn't born deaf, but there is an incident that happens throughout the course of her life that causes her to lose her hearing. And so this is where we kind of get into the debate of why we don't use those who have these disabilities in films like this. Now, on one hand, I can kind of understand what if their thought process, and this is me just really kind of just trying to think of why they would do something like this, would be because Kiernan Shipka's character, Allie, was actually of hearing, and it's not until maybe 2 or 3 years prior to this incident happening with the vest that her character basically loses her hearing. So I can kind of see from that point of view, but I still want to encourage studios to always fight to use those with these disabilities in roles like this, because I think that it totally would have been fine. That's just me being on my soapbox a little bit. Now, also too, one last issue that I have with the film is the fact that while we do learn who the Vesp are, there's something that happens that we see that the Vesp are doing that I'm just like, how are they doing that? And like, why are they doing it that way? I can't really get into it, but you'll see what I mean, that there's something that they're trying to do to basically ensure that they're around longer, but it's never really explained to anyone. So that's probably one of the only other issues that I have with the film. But overall, if you don't have anything else to watch and you kind of love movies like this, you love sci-fi films, if you've read The Silence, I think that it was fine to watch. I watched it. I enjoyed it. Is it better than A Quiet Place? Is it better than Bird Box? No, because this is really just focusing on this family survival. It doesn't have all the extra added drama that other films like this has, but I still think that it was okay to watch. I was fine with it. I didn't have any issues. I didn't want to feel like, I didn't feel as though I wasted my time or like I couldn't reclaim my time for watching this. So I had a fine time with The Silence. So those are my quick thoughts on The Silence. I need to go to work now. As always, my name is Sharona from Payroll Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell, and I will see you soon.